Hello, everyone. It's so excited to see everyone here, all these familiar faces. If you have time to just get your screen up, it will be wonderful to see you and get to know you. We're here to create network, create this community within Hypha, and we're so excited to show you what we've been doing for the last 5 years as a team, because we have to give thanks and gratitude to all those members that have passed and have got us here. So I'm just super excited to see how this is going to be the beginning of an amazing journey. The journey is just beginning, and super excited to see balloons going. It's a celebration for all of us. So happy to have you. I'm going to introduce you a co-founder, Joachim Stroh. He's going to be introducing us to the first section of this presentation in Townhall. This is a very relaxed setting, so please, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the chat. And we have many members here that can answer, and we'll be able to help you. With that, I'll give it to Joachim.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for this nice introduction. Also, we have Dominic Thomas here with us today, who is going to show you a quick demo of the DAO. And I see a few other members here from Hypha, so feel free to jump in. So yeah, this is one of the first in a series of town hall events we are planning. Probably doing this every 2 weeks from now on, as new members are boarding the system, launching their DAO, getting on their journey. So we'll share more, we'll come together more, and we'll see where it takes us next. So yeah, let's get started here. We have about an hour, so I'll step you through a few slides, and then we'll see the demo, and then we'll see more about the services we created to support you, to get you ready for your own journey. And then we'll come back with a wrap up and some questions at the very end. All right, sounds good. Let's get started. So yeah, welcome. That's the moment we've been waiting for I don't know how many years, for almost 5 years now, right? So Hypha's ready, Hypha's here. We're now switching from alpha, that was the initial stage, to beta, a much more stable platform with some robust features that we're going to introduce you to today. If you haven't heard of Hypha, and Hypha, the name itself stands for the branching filaments that make up the mycelium. So we are the rich soil in the network, right? And providing the connectivity that we need. And with that, let's get started. The overview here is beginning with the DAO moment. I just wanted to dive into why this is a huge transition for all of us here at the right time, at the right place. Then we get into the demo. Then we'll show some of the DAO services that we just launched on the website. It went live minutes ago, so you can go check it out. We have listed there. And then a few wrap-up slides about going into this new age. You know, where are we going from here? What's coming next? So excited to talk about that. Let's get started. So the DAO moment is here. For us, this is a transition. This is an opportunity for us to introduce something entirely new, something that really moves us from what we see on the left side here as the legacy operating system, right? It's where we see corporations that were built for the industrial age, where here we're actually brought us where we are today towards something new that we call the DAO operating system on the right side, right? That's the DAO moment. That's the moment of transition, and it's a moment of transformation for a lot of people. We've been using the DAO at Hypha for 4.5 years for ourselves, you know, to build really what we've created here, and have learned so much on this journey, right? On this journey from, you know, going from competitive views, linear ways of doing things, you know, contracting and hierarchical stuff in organizations, towards much more sort of living ecosystems, as we call it, right? Where we have circular value flows, we have these agreements that we can now build on chain, and we have these new kinds of decentralized operations and organizations, right? And building these cooperative networks from there. This is a new picture. This is something that is happening maybe roughly every, 100 years or so, when you get something entirely new out there. And if you look at the internet, 40 years ago, we had the first iteration there with Tim Berners-Lee on the active, the first kind of web that you can create for yourself, put your voice out there, right? 20 years later, we had the commercial web, the centralized player extracting our data, right? Now we're coming back to a decentralized web again. And we believe the DAO is right at the center of this huge transition that we're going through. So let's take a look at the evolution pathway here itself. Notice that we are here now with the DAO activation. This is the place where you can launch and start your DAO as of today, right? And then there's more coming, right? It's important to see this is an ongoing journey. There are many, many pathways from here. We're going to look at the community activation next to expand the idea of the DAO into a much wider community space. We're going to go into ecosystem activation from there, where you can launch different DAOs, part of the same network that you're building, increasing the DAO to DAO connections in this space. And then it goes on and on and on, right? We're building thriving networks. We're building entirely new systems that what you can do once you have the fundamental building blocks in place for this. A quick look at the DAO tokens, right? How does it work with, some fundamental ways of interacting, of bringing people into the DAO? It all begins with the contribution and commitment. So you have a piece of the puzzle, right? And you could join the DAO and start to contribute in some way. You get recognized and you get rewards for that. And then as a reward system, you get tokens for that. And for us, it was important to create 3 different types of tokens. One is the utility token. That's the native token of the DAO that represents the value that you're creating here. And the second one is what we call payout token. So you can have a token that's still tied to liquid crypto. It's tied to paying your bills. It's tied to treasury reserves. And it's a way for you to say, yes, we're also integrating that to connect to regular traditional ways of paying people inside the work they perform in the DAO. But this is variable, and you can see you can actually optimize that. You can say how much utility tokens versus payout tokens you're earning for your contributions inside the DAO. And then, of course, we have our voice token here. Voice token is now tied to governance. That gives you sort of the access to all of the proposals, all of the voting schemas, and everything we decide inside the DAO. So voice is not tied in any way to other tokens because it's a separate thing. You earn that over time. You earn this voice and can participate in different ways. But it doesn't stop here. You can see on the right side, we'll have more tokens, planned to integrate with the DAO, the impact token and the currency tokens, our future tokens we're working on. Quick look at the DAO features. Many of you will be familiar already what we've been doing so far in the Alpha program, but to quickly summarize that, right? So obviously at the heart is collective decision-making. The DAO, sometimes I call it an agreement machine, a space where we come together to actually make these aligned decisions, where we come and submit proposals and then get ready to instantiate these proposals, right? That's at the heart, but you can see a lot more. There's a multi-token system that I just talked about, integrated into every DAO. Every DAO can have its own token launched and its own value creation system. There are multiple roles and multiple badges you can create for your own DAO. We have the contribution accounting system that's directly tied to reward systems, that's tied to these little nests here, right? A nested circle structure we have in the DAO, so you can build your teams and build your DAO from the ground up. We have a multi-signatory treasury management system, so it's protected and you have the right people in control of your own treasury, right? And nobody else can interfere with that. And then we have multi-stage governance. You can put proposals on staging. You can suggest different types of proposals, whether it's a policy proposal, whether it's a role proposal or a quest, everything is possible in your own DAO. That leads to some of the incredible impact that you can create with the DAO, right? So I'm listing a few spots here to just give you an overview of what the potential impact is of every DAO out there. So you can lower the cost of launching any kind of venture. And by any kind, I mean, that could be a cooperative, it could be a startup, it could be a community that's turned into a more serious space for creating a product or service. It could be a village, right? It could be any kind of gathering that is coming together. So the entry barriers are incredibly low by using the DAO. Obviously, there's a lot of focus on the individual team and community engagement here. You want people on board, but you want to lower sort of the entry barriers, make sure it's easy for them to join. And it's not like in a regular organization, right, where you have to go through 20 interviews before you even get to know some of the key decision makers. Decreasing costs of agreements, that's tied to the decision process and tools that we have inside the DAO. We have ways to accelerate the project launches, right? So you can go to scale much faster than if you were to go through the traditional routes. I mentioned team-driven decisions, and then participation really in a global impact collaboration net. You're not alone, we're together in this, and that's the motto that we are putting out there. So with that, let's achieve more together, and let me hand it over to Dominic Thomas now, who will be talking about the DAO itself, give you a quick overview of the DAO, what this thing looks like, what it can do for us, and then take it from there. Thank you. Take it over.
Awesome. Thank you, Malcolm. That was cool. All right. Let's check out the DAO. Oh, why did I do that? Come on. Man. Trying to make it full screen. Okay.
Let me stop my share because it's still showing. I think
it switched,
Dominic,
right?
Yeah, it'll be wonderful to introduce yourself as well to the viewers. That'll be great.
To introduce myself, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Dominic Thomas. I'm doing business development work for Hypha for pretty much this year, started like February. And yeah, really excited working with lots of DAOs. So, I'm one of the folks that you can talk to if you want to get a DAO set up and get going. I can help you learn about all the different kind of products and services we have, and we can get you started. So that's what this is. You're looking here at the sort of dashboard and welcome page for the Hypha DAO. Of course, this is ours. That's me.
We don't see it.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not?
No. It's in your desktop. You just need to,
Okay.
shift speech.
I see it now. No? Yes?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. There you go. Now we're back. So this is the kind of the welcome screen for the DAO. You can, see members, and you kind of have access, right? This is your little base where you can go and check everything out. I'll just show you a little bit. This is a profile. So, this is your account in the DAO where you need to, check different things out. If you have a role, if you want to do anything with your wallet, it gives you an option to, talk a little bit about yourself. Like you can see down here, I can write a little bio here. Shows me different things about my wallet, governance tokens, other tokens that I've accumulated. Then you even see a little list of different votes and things. So it's kind of like your little update on everything that you have involved. For example, up top here, you can see roles and then some older roles because they've been renewed. I've done 3 rotations now, I think. Contributions, which are sort of different kind of agreements. I don't think we'll get too deep into all the differences, but we'll talk about them a little bit. And then we have something called quests. Right now, I'm not in the quest category because I'm a core team member. You don't usually do quests from a core team position. Possible, but not likely. These are the DAOs that I'm a part of, right? I'm members of each of these DAOs. And you can just kind of keep going. It'll open them up. I'm kind of a member of a lot of DAOs because we're starting and I'm helping them get launched. And that's something we kind of will do to help some of the DAOs come in as an admin, help you get set up, and then I'll sort of get out of there. Or I don't know, maybe if you entice me, I will stick around and be an outstanding DAO member. Either way is possible, but it's just an easy way for you to access, because one of the great things about Hypha is the network. You're going to be able to, once you're a member of one DAO, you can become a member of as many DAOs as you want. doesn't cost you anything extra. And it allows for this sort of like real like networking and seeding and for everybody to just kind of contribute to the DAOs that make the most sense to them. Here you get a little rundown, just date, time. But what's cool about this, and I'm just going to point this out, it might seem small, but I am able to put my actual time zone here. And for those of you who've dealt with global remote teams, it's just kind of nice. I've looked at Hypha members before and been like, okay, especially early on, like, okay, they're in UTC 0 or +5 or -6 or whatever. And you can kind of see that. And then, of course, it talks about the governance token, the voice token here. So go over one other part. This is our wallet. This, again, allows you to just kind of see different transactions you've had, do redemptions if you want to, and so on. But it's very easy to use. Highly recommend the Hypha wallet to everybody, by the way. It was built in-house. It's awesome. And it's just a super easy thing to use. Let me go back to home. You can see down the left side here, you have your navigations, right? So I go back to home. Let's take a look at some proposals, right? Let's see what's going on in the DAO. All right, so we have proposals and staging. Staging is a really great feature for Hypha because it allows you to get your proposal up and out there, and you can get into sense making, right? And discussion with your team, right? So we have these comments, people put their proposals in, right? Right now we have affiliates going through the process to earn the badge. For the most part, they've already worked with Alexandra and others, so this isn't like something that would be contentious or anything. But it's nice that they can put their proposal up, just make sure it looks right. Alexandra said, yep, wonderful, move on. And now this person can publish it to actual official voting. There's other ones here, right? Like we use policies in here, too. That's a nice one. We've been talking about our policy, how we want to use our HubSpot and approach it different ways. Yoakum's able to put this up. We can have some discussions. Once the sense making stage is complete, he can put it up for a vote. It goes into the DAO. We're set. These are active proposals right now that I haven't voted on yet. There's an affiliate badge, so I can look. I can see that, he must have been through the process because that's how we're doing it right now. He wouldn't be up for voting. I can click over here and then I can go ahead and vote. This is popping up Anchor Wallet. Don't be deceived. It's just an EOS wallet that I use, but I don't think you need it. Oh, when I vote in full screen, it disappears. Just give me a minute. I should be able to go back to it. Okay. Can you see it again?
Yes.
I think there's something weird when you screen share it and you vote. I'll get through the voting here. This will work.
That would be great.
Much easier in the Hypha wallet. Okay. Can you guys see all of that?
Yes.
Right. So then it shows over here who's voted and everything like that. It's great. Obviously the transparency, right? Everything's in front of you. You can see everything. Members, you just kind of see, right? We have applicants. One of the things about the DAO is we have an enroller badge and we also have admin badge. Those are two people most likely going to be on your core team, not always, but most likely, that are just, know kind of who to let in some situations, you just might want to keep out like spammers or something. We didn't want to leave it wide open because in crypto you could get, believe me, 500 people coming at you all at once. We've experienced this. But it just allows you to have a little bit of control over your membership, making sure that, it's the right kind of, people who should be in the DAO flying. And then, of course, you can see, I can go check anybody out. I can just go over and look at Caitlin. Like I said, I can look and see her time zone. Oh, that's nice. I can see what she's got going on, her different assignments and so on. Everything's out in the open, working out in the open. This is a little bit about the organizations, kind of like a front page of the org, right? It shows like active assignments, payouts, all of our badges, how much of our tokens have been released so far. You see the voice and the HUSD and the Hypha tokens, right? We can see our circles, right? And some of this is very brand new right now, so we haven't even set up some of it completely. This was our first really full release with some of these features, but you can see this nice front page, right? If you want to go and check out the DAO, it's all here. There's no mysteries, right? There's no special area that, you know, Yoakum and Alex keep in the back room that the rest of us don't get to see, right? It's open, man. It's all right here. So it's a really great setup. The thing is moving fast too. For some of you who've been here before, I mean, I got to give the devs some credit. This thing's lightning right now. It's really moving. So I'm really digging it. Again, you can see like badges over here. Oh, okay. Where's the different badge? I'm an enroller. Oh, great. You know, treasurer badge. Those are going to be people who are like on your multi-sig. You know, again, we have these ways to protect. You know, you don't want to have, you know, all the valuable assets of your DAO just available for anybody to just go grab. You know, you do need some checks and balances, and especially if you're a, you know, corporation of some kind, right? You need financial controls. We got you. You know, moderators, lamplighters, ambassadors, a newer one for us, along with the affiliate badge. I'm an admin. That allows me to actually create and configure DAOs because I'm on the business development and sales team. I need to be able to do that. And I'm trusted enough that they let me. I don't know why, but I am. North Star badge is an important one. This is very, you know, for people who are most trusted in the organization. In case you have something going on where you get like a rogue proposal and it just kind of needs to be stopped until the DAO can kind of figure things out. It's a nice sort of nuclear check and balance if you need it. It's never.
Dominic, I'd just like to jump in there just on the North Star badge.
All right,
I
there you
think this comes up a lot for everyone, which is the journey from, you know, centralization to decentralization, and, you know, how centralized should you be at different points. Now, our tools allow you to set it up any way you want. The way we've gone about it is we've ourselves been truly decentralized as much as we can from the beginning. But we've sensed that at points it is helpful for certain people to be voted in to have the North Star badge. And that in our entity allows what you would describe in the old world as negative control, but effectively allows you to negate a positive proposal. So that's an interesting play on governance that we've gone in. That badge is voted in, and, you know, it'll be voted out at some point as well. But as you think about your journey from centralization to decentralization, these are useful tools, and I'm sure, will invent all kinds of other badges and different ways of doing this. You know, we're just an example, and we've tried a few different ways as well in the experimentation over the last 4 years. But sorry, Dom, didn't want to interrupt. Just wanted to add some color there. Thank you, guys.
No, that's perfect. And the important part here is there's kind of two types of badges. We also have some are smart badges, like I was talking about, like the admin. That's actually permissioned, right? There's smart contracts and code that's being run there that actually allows me to access things. And then other badges maybe are just more symbolic. They may not have specific code. But again, you know, you need the affiliate badge in Hypha to be an affiliate. And if you don't have it and you kind of come into the DAO saying, hey, you know, I brought in these DAOs, I'm an affiliate. We can look on your profile and see, are you? Right. So it's still like a verification, certification. But as Ronnie said, these are customizable. You know, we can't wait to see what everybody comes up with. I think I'll finish with just showing a little bit about what proposals look like. This is kind of the heart of it, right? The agreement machine, as Yoakum was talking about. You have your sort of one-off contributions, or not one-off, but one time, meaning it's going to be kind of completed there. It's not going to be recurring. Then we have, of course, recurring assignments. These are like your roles, the badges, and so on. And then organizational assets, right? That's when you're creating something that's going to kind of stay with the DAO, like a new badge or a new policy or something along those lines. So it's, you know, I've been in Hypha here coming up on 8-9 months or whatever, but there is a tremendous amount of wisdom in this. We've got a lot of different things going on, Founders Club every week, lots of other different services and group to help you guys and transmit that wisdom, because the other big part of Hypha is we are the product. We do live in this thing. I have worked in this thing from the second I joined Hypha. I've been in the DAO. There's been nothing else. So we are excited to just transmit that wisdom and then start learning from everybody else as well. It's kind of a green field. I love quests. I think these are extremely important, especially in the sort of blockchain Web3 smart contract community, where we like to do things with smart contracts. That's the whole point. We make an agreement. I have a smart contract. You do what you're supposed to do. You get paid out. It's automated. No middleman. We can both trust it. That's awesome. But in a actual work type situation or vendor type situation, you have somebody coming to the DAO to do some work for you. Well, you might want a little bit of a two-step process. And that's what's really nice about this. You put in the quest. I'm not going to go too deep with it, but as you can see, you can fill it out. You give your description. If it's attributed to a specific circle, you put that in. If not, you leave it blank. You can add, obviously, images, documents, videos, whatever it is. But what's really nice about that is, say maybe you're pitching a quest. You put in your documentation, you put in your description, you put in a video. There's your pitch right there. Beautiful. But it's a two-stage process. So the original quest gets accepted by the DAO. Okay, we want you to do the work, but you're not going to get paid yet. Then you go and do the work. You come back and you submit the quest, the second stage that says, here's the work, here's the proof, here's what I did. The DAO votes it in, you get paid. It's a really, really cool process, and it allows you to really work with like all kinds of people, not people maybe that you don't necessarily know yet or have never worked with before. You can start building that relationship. I think I'll just go over here. And I'll show you the recurring assignments, and I think I can hand it off. But so this is really great when you want to get into roles. You can see we have filled this out because we've been doing this for a very long time. You're going to be able to customize this any way you want. You can set them up. You set up the types of roles. You set up the pay scale. You can set up the terms, the lengths. It's very customizable, but it's a beautiful part of the DAO for your team, a way in which you can just automate everything, but also have that community DAO core team engaged. Everybody votes on our roles. I've said to people about the DAO, it's all the freedom of an entrepreneurship with the support of a team. And as someone who's been an entrepreneur for 20 years, I don't work for anybody, but I work for everybody. That's the difference. I work for the DAO. I answer to the DAO. I answer to the group. And so I put my role, I put what I think is a reasonable, payment level. I have the assignment, just business development. So I don't know how to spell. And then I can just put the description in here. I'm going to do these things. In our case, this would be in the growth and services circle. I could add my resume here, say if I was just starting out. Again, any supporting documentation. I'm moving on. I have my start date. Like, okay, I'm ready to go. I want to start on the 15th, right? And we set ours up for 12-week periods. And here you go, just showing everything. You can have commitment levels here. I wanted to get to this screen because this is really important. This is where your DAO token can come into play. Some people can work entirely for tokens, right? If I want to work for tokens completely, it's there. Also have commitment level, right? Maybe I'm part-time. I'm working 20% of the time. I can do that. I have all that flexibility. Or, hey, I'm all in. I'm here every day. I'm full-time. I'm a core member of the team. I'm doing all that. And then your payouts are going to adjust because they were already set by you in that other screen I was showing you. And then, you have some little tweaks to see. But it's a really cool thing. And it really allows for a lot of flexibility in the DAO. So I think that's good. I don't know. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Joachim?
Real quick, I see some questions coming in here. Stephen has some good questions
Okay.
here. Question
should we-
one. Yeah.
The Q&A. I think
Yeah,
we should
you're
move
right.
forward.
We can move
and do
forward,
the
yeah, yeah.
Q&A at the end. You complete, Dominic. That was great. Let's do, I guess we can jump into one of the most exciting parts. It's the web, the site that our marketing team and the whole team has created. Why we're so excited about this is because we need a transition tool as well, because a lot of people are in another system and they need to integrate into a new system of working, of playing, of being creative, collaborating. And what we have done here is, in this amazing website, you can start creating your DAO, right? And start creating picture. You start creating your get started. and how do you're going to start the process of creating your DAO. So by going through this website, this tool that we have created is like a transition and onboarding at the same time, like a bridge between the Web 2 and Web 3 in a way.
Alexandra, can you put the link of this website into the chat?
Absolutely. If somebody can do it for me, that would be great. And we have our user cases here, that we have worked on. You can play with this thing. You can go to the get started is really pretty much where if you want to start your DAO, you can just create your DAO here, and start integrating and get all the team, the growth and services, just call you, get an appointment with you and figure out what are your needs. The features also, how to, all the potentials that you can create for your team and how you can, explanations of collaboration and how we've been doing it for the last few years. I also explain here. We have Education Hub that Dominic has worked really hard on this by creating amazing tiny videos of helping you how to be more aware of what are the needs when you have a block. Then you can just watch this, or you can also go to our social media on Discord and ask us a question directly into our main communication tool for the community. So if you go here into this section towards the bottom, you see our Twitter, LinkedIn, and Discord for any questions. Okay. Let's see, we also have here, we have explained the pricing plans for the DAO builders. You start with a free DAO, right? Currently, you start your process and eventually how it grows into a bigger team, and you're going to need probably more members to be able to accomplish your goals. Then it will move forward into the starter plan, the growth plan, and the thrive plan. So we are being so grateful for the alphas and the betas that have been around and supporting us for this long. We created the DAO Founders Roundtable, and this is going to be a service provided for anybody that has, want to get more in tune with the DAO. This service will be free until the end of the year for everybody that wants to participate on. We actually have some DAO activation groups and DAO expert deep dives. And perhaps you have an ecosystem or a large anchor DAO that you need to bring along. These are more one-on-one consultancy with the team that have a lot of experience, and we have the DAO launch program as well. There's a creation also for us to grow as a network, because if we all collaborate with each other, then we'll be able to, get more business, get the word around. And we have an ambassador program as well for Hypha, an affiliate program. And the affiliate program, they're all going to be rewarded with tokens if you bring your network into Hypha. So it's very important. We have consultants too who want to participate as helping us with new ecosystems and new things that are coming into the technology and innovation aspect. And service DAOs as well. Perhaps you have a DAO that needs to work on AI or something that you want to create and help other DAOs. This is your opportunity. And for the developers as well, we have the Build with Hypha. And this is amazing because they could be other nodes of Hypha development within the same platform. And here we have just about us. What are we, who we are, how many DAOs we're in, how many members, what we've been working on. We work on a constitution as well that has been drafted and cared for, and a lot of these alignment and integrity values are posted here as well because we are transparent. We work with integrity, trust, responsibility, and reciprocity, commitment and creativity. These are our drive and why we're doing this. So it's very valuable for us to, the members and the DAOs that are gonna come in have the same aspect of values towards, working together. And lastly, we have a blog of the latest things that we have created. You can also check the social media and different new amazing interviews that marketing has created for us. And that's pretty much, the site is a great tool. I really highly recommend it for you to explore, read, and if you have any questions, just guide us in Discord and we'll be able to help you. If you a little bit going down on the first page, you're gonna see the shape your organization and tools that you can, implement and play with, and how do you ignite your team engagement. All these things are being thought through the years for you guys to be able to, take advantage. And I think with that, we can start maybe the Q&A questions. If anybody has,
a few more slides, Alexandra. I just wanted to go over some wrapping up slides, and then we can get into the Q&A. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Before we do this, so thank you, first of all, to give us the grand tour of the website. Looks fantastic. Shout out to Luigi, doing so much work on this. Massimo, our core design staff that has put so much energy into this is fabulous. And thank you, Dominic, for the tour. Just wanted to highlight one more thing. The Hypha wallet here, if you can see that a little bit. It's a beautiful piece of work that works really in conjunction with the website. The only thing you have to do is really click on scanning the code here, and then you sign the transaction, right? And this is really the big difference now between an era of username and passwords, that get lost, that get stolen, that is really not a secure world in Web 2, towards a much safer environment with these wallets that sign your transactions because it's on your device. Nobody else can take that. It's your key that is stored on these devices. And we're making it very easy now for people to begin using these new technologies. So I'm excited about that. So let me jump back into the slides again. And go back to the summary here. Again, the different services we offer, right? We have a whole bunch of things that you can sign up for, beginning with the DAO Founders Roundtable. That's going to be a roundtable conversations specifically geared towards people who started to launch the DAOs, have questions, want to come together. Maybe they are working in the same segment, same, space like socio-ecological space or political space. So that's the right place for you to come together and exchange your knowledge, exchange where you are and work forward together. We have the activation group. That's our systematic journey, to understand the DAO, the core building blocks of the DAO. We'll step you through that. We have these deep dives, right, that show what you can do with the DAO. How do you build up the strategic, tactical, operational stuff inside the DAO? And then, of course, the great Hypha Labs that Alexandra is leading with the ambassador badge and the affiliate badges, really to expand the network into a much broader arena, getting the voice out there, inviting more people into this, to participate in any way they like. And then consulting and services, right? That will slowly arise, I think, out of this new DAO network, with people specializing on things, could be legal services, could be more fundamental, support services. There could be any kind of service you can think of, A DAO is here to create this and then connect to the other DAOs that need these kinds of services. So really excited about that. Cool. So let's wrap up this conversation here, and then we get into some questions and answers. So we're moving into this new age, right? For me, this is an opportunity to come together and set what's called a flywheel in motion. And it's a flywheel really on a grand scale. If you think about that, if we have tens, hundreds, and if we have thousands of DAOs, right, out there, and they set something like this in motion, and we're starting to connect, we're starting to cooperate and to collaborate on these new levels here, right? And create much more value through this open and visible co-creation, right? We build value, right? We build a distribution of enormous, creation, creativity, innovation that we put out there, right? And that leads for me, obviously, to sort of a lot less fragility, a lot more resilience, right? A buffer against all of these dangers and, the threats that are, popping up around us. Last 2 weeks ago, I was here at Climate Week in New York City, and you can see really hundreds of groups coming up in response to this danger, right? In response to stepping up and doing something about it. And I think we provide the right vessel for people to do that, journey onboard the DAO and find the others really to solve these really hard and wicked problems together, right? Not in isolation, not you against me, it's you and me really, to build the necessary trust and the reciprocity that we're seeing there. In terms of sort of the transition, we always used, Bucky Fuller here, of course. You never change things by fighting the existing reality, right? We want to offer a new model, right? That makes the old one slowly, gradually sort of obsolete, seeing what's possible, seeing what we can do out there. So for us, that means, building these new interfaces, right, between the legacy operating system and this new DAO operating system that I mentioned at the beginning, right? And we're seeing the first steps here into this kind of bridge building that we're doing here, from the legal system to a protocol layer for agreements, right, to create coherence inside the DAO, judicial systems, right, creating arbitration protocols to say we can solve these problems inside the DAO context, right? Bring the right people in there. This is like a core. This is like a system that solves these critical problems. Banking system, right? We have token protocols now, right? That can allow us peer-to-peer token exchanges, value exchanges among different parties here. And we have the financial system, right? That we can bridge towards new protocols of exchange. There's MiCA regulation in Europe, coming up now that stands for markets and crypto assets that really define now what these tokens are all about. Is it a security token? Is it a utility token? Or is it an asset reference tokens, right? Like NFTs. Really clear definitions coming up. And you can see the support for DAOs now in many, many different places. In the US, obviously, it started with a lot of regulatory frameworks, organizational and sort of ways of legally structuring a DAO through LLC structures specifically targeted to DAOs. So the recognition is here, right? The space is here. The space is opening up for all of us to begin to participate and look into this transition. And for us, these are really sort of the final frontiers, if we look at this from Star Trek perspective a little bit here. So it's frontiers in terms of creating this business value, right? The organizations we want to change. It's the network value, right? The people we want to connect here. And the platform value, of course, the features we're going to introduce, over time, listening to you, listening to people who are boarding these DAOs, right? Adding value, integrating that, embedding that into their own business models, right? And coming up with the feedback loop that we're looking at to sort of build this thing in the middle, right? We don't know exactly how this is going to shape up. We have some ideas. We show you some of them that we're putting on our roadmap for the rest of the year. But beyond that, it's really it's a new territory. It's for all of us to see what's possible with this new technology, right? With this new ways of integrating, embedding that into different kinds of organizations, and with the value we provide by reaching out to everybody out there, right? The people we are connecting, the organizations we are connecting, the communities we are connecting by participating in this new thing here. So wrapping this up with a quick look at the roadmap. Remember the evolutionary stages at the beginning, right? So with that, the community layer here is a highly important thing for us to say, we want to add this and we'll wrap it around the core team layer that is now available inside the DAO. That gives you community elections, that gives you community proposals, that gives you ways to really interact with your community and ways that you decide again, right? It's not prescriptive, it's not like in and out. It's you decide what the level of interaction is going to look like. Then leveling up to sort of the DAO to DAO space, the ecosystem space, we'll put a lot of effort into what we call holonic mapping. So this is mapping of larger ecosystems, providing a dashboard for that, providing new kinds of proposals really to interact between two entirely, different entities here, right? DAOs that can specialize on different products and services, but do want to connect each other with the value that they provide. And then lastly, a lot of work on the infrastructure that we will do. Tokenomics is the model that we embedded at the heart of this. It's underlying all of the transactions here. You can take a look at the white paper we put out on the website, and we're going to revamp that and really sort of begin to implement, steps and bits and pieces of the tokenomics white paper over the next couple of months. And then, of course, infrastructure and blockchain technology. We are, looking at the initial blockchains that we integrated with, but we're open, right? It's a multi-chain approach, and we will see where that takes us next. Because again, we don't want to work in silos. We want to bring everybody together here. We want to, ensure there's a level of interoperability that we can support and doing all of this together. All right. So I'll leave you with Margaret here, that she said that you would never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals like you, boarding a DAO, realizing your passion, realizing your ideas, and joining this movement, right? That's going to change the world. And these small groups, right, that's the thing that really ever has. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll come back to see where we can provide more. All right.
Amazing. Thank you so much. There's a few questions. Here. Yeah. There's a QR codes here if you need to go into our Discord or the Hypha website. And there's a few questions on Discord channel. But if please open mic, just raise your hand. We can probably change the view. To just have everyone, if you stop sharing, correct. And yeah, we have Stephen with his first question.
Well, hello. First of all, I just want to say I want to thank the Hypha team, the Hypha resource development team, for this great effort over the years to get us to this next point. It's very exciting, very inspiring, and I look forward to using it in the Seeds ecosystem and other places. I also want to thank the Hypha team for agreeing to bring Darren in at their own expense and helping create the further iteration of the Seeds 2.0 native token. So that's really very deeply appreciated. My question, I have so many questions, but I guess I'll start with the one most important one to me is, can we create new badges right away in the beta, or do we use the badges that are already there as templates?
I'll give that to Dominic to answer.
Yes, you can make new badges in the beta. So we give starter templates, the ones that we've been using the most to get people going, but you can do that. I don't know, Arseny, do you want to speak to that a little bit more? Is there anything else I should be saying there? Arseny is one of our core devs, so.
Yeah, I mean, we currently have kind of, as Dominic pointed out, like smart badges and more like, I don't want to call them smart and dumb, but like basically badges that have certain functionality in the app and badges that have certain functionality in organization. So basically, the one that are attached to the certain functionality of app are kind of system badges, and that's something that we are kind of issuing. But the other badges are something that you can create. So yeah, I mean, we are really looking forward to the feedback and how can we improve also the system badges. But regarding the organizational badges, it's something that organization can kind of issue on their own, and it depends what are your needs. But imagine that you have certain, like, I don't know, you have like Alexandra is here, facilitator, right? So you can have facilitator badge in your organization. And then at one point when there is a need for facilitator, you can just check who has facilitator badge and then kind of use it for that. So that's just one use case, but I would really looking forward to see kind of what would people use that we did not thought about.
And that's the beauty that we're going to have in this network, because there's so much creativity with different badges and quests and different things. That's our learning from you guys. Yeah.
My last question, I put my questions in the chat, but my last question was related to the reward compensation tiers, and whether there's a set number of them in this current beta, or can we create our own reward tiers.
Yep, you can create your own. It's customizable. You guys can set them up however you want. You can set up the roles, you can set up the reward tiers, and then of course assign them to circles. Right.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
an
know,
incredible
both
improvement.
in service, this role, this tier, and then there you go.
Amazing. That will be all. Yeah, go ahead, Joaquin.
Quick jumping in here. I see Lenny and Brandon on the call here. Big shout out to the EOS team and ENF and for all the support they've given us. And we are proud to launch this on EOS, as of today. So that is available now.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. Thank you again for all you've done in this way.
Yeah, amazing support there. And
Thanks for being here.
yeah, absolutely. Do you want to say a few words? Where are you?
I'm here. No, I don't have much to say. I've just been super, I've been waiting for this moment for a really long time, and I think a lot of us have. So really glad we got this far, and excited to see what's next. Yeah.
Super excited. We have a question from Bernardo. I don't know if he wants to, you want me to read it, or do you want to just ask the question yourself? But he was asking in regards to tokens created by Hypha, can they be searched from the EOS scanner or some other tool? I'm not sure if anybody can answer that question, maybe Alex or Mark.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer the question. So hello everyone, and thanks for being here. Really excited by this gathering. But yes, to answer the question, each DAO, as Joachim has presented at the beginning of the call, each DAO has 3 different tokens that they can mint, that they can create, right, through the different proposals. So each DAO will have this set of tokens. And yes, these tokens are either Telos tokens if you're using the Telos blockchain, or now that EOS is available, EOS tokens that you can see on the Explorer, the blockchain Explorer, and you can have access to those tokens outside of the user interface of Hypha.
Great.
Yeah.
We have a question from Marianne. I don't know if you want to voice it out, or you want me to read it. It's in regards to the onboarding. So what does your onboarding look like? And I was part of the alpha onboarding a few years ago. So is there any changes? Perhaps Luigi can give us a little feedback on that?
Absolutely, happy to reply about that. So yeah, actually we made a lot of progress on the onboarding, like from any point of view, I would say. So I would say that the major, it has, building our Hypha wallet that basically will smooth every process from creating an account to signing transaction, then publishing a DAO. There's not the burden of having to create a blockchain account all by yourself. You have not skills, so you can basically enter a name on the Hypha wallet, it will create the account for you. From there, you move to the DAO launcher, and you have a 2-step where you can just basically add a name, a purpose for your DAO, a logo, click a publish button, and you are in. So that's, I would say, big accomplishment. We have been working on that quite some time because, of course, it was a very huge and complex UX to try to nail down in the smallest steps possible. And if you want to take a look, guys, there's the new website on. We created this section, which is called Get Started. Dominic also registered the video guiding, a little bit through the whole process, which is quick, but it's also nice to have a walkthrough video. But anyway, in this page on the website, Get Started, you can see, scattering in 3 places. You can see specifically how to create an account, how to create a DAO, how to join a DAO. There's both on-page step-by-step tutorial. So for the people like me that are a little bit old school and like to have, the text to read. Otherwise, we also have videos on the education. And yeah,
Great. That's great.
I'm actually super happy about this onboarding. I'm happy that the question came out, to be fair.
I'm gonna jump in real quick, Alexandra. Luigi's actually being a little bit modest in it. You might not understand that so much because they obfuscated everything. They really pushed the blockchain to the back end technology layer where it needs to be. You know, this has been a problem in Web3. Brandon, others who have been around a long time can tell you that we've led with the tech. It's nuts. It's like join Facebook. We have a MySQL database that's really, really fast. Like no one cares, right? It's nonsense. You don't. That's what you say. Right? Saying join Hypha because you can make a DAO. The blockchain's there. It's great. It allows for the transparency. Hypha puts tons of transactions on that blockchain. That's all happening seamlessly in the background. You don't have to deal with that anymore. You don't have to deal with private keys if you don't want to. I'm so glad they did that because there's almost like a religion around that, but it's there. If you want it, you can get it. The advanced features, you can grab your keys, but your device is your key. Your device is your login. It's just a beautiful thing. And I have to thank Luigi and Nick and RC and everybody who worked on that because there's a lot of complexity behind that simple process. Very cool.
Great. Yeah, we have Kaylin also, who's part of our marketing team.
Yes, I just want to be cautious of the time and take a screenshot before everyone has to jump off to their next calls to celebrate the occasion. So I'll take a screenshot on 3 if you want to turn your video on to be part of it.
Video on, if you can, that'll be amazing. Yeah, big day for Hypha.
Can we get 4 more to turn their video on to make a full videos?
Gabriel, Felipe,
Ronnie. Okay, so on 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I'll take just 1 more. So 1, 2, 3. Great. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out also to Pedro, who's here. And Pedro is a huge part of this amazing unfolding of customer care and the way he portrays and has helped with the video content has been incredible. So I just wanted to shout out to you. And if I miss, we have Dr. Annalise here as well, who helped us with the Constitution. So super excited to have her here. And we have Neha, we have a few people that are impressive members that have put so much effort into getting this whole work done. So I'm very grateful to have you guys here. Any questions, last minute feedback or congratulations are welcome. We have
well, there was one question that came up and I saw somebody else repeated it, so I just guess I'll say from Lenny Knit. I can't see her last name. She says, being a governance nerd of sorts, copy below another question from Stephen, would be great to know how Hypha DAO owns its governance and how is there a place within the DAO to refer to an underlying constitution or governance document?
Not sure who posted that. I haven't seen it, but
and then
the very first one. Okay.
Yeah.
Joachim, maybe, or
yeah, it's a great question. If I can phrase ways of doing that. I mean, we've been building with Analos, the Constitution, the Hypha Constitution as one example. It's a document that's been put on the DAO that's up for voting, and then eventually we all align around this constitutional document. But that's for the Hypha DAO, right? Everybody will have its own ways of creating a constitution, a manifesto, bylaws, if you're more of a cooperative, right? You can put all of these documents in the DAO. And that for me is a critical piece because the DAO is the single source of truth now, right? It doesn't float around in anybody's folder, desk, or some spreadsheets, right? It's here. It's where we agreed. You can come here, see who voted, right? And see what the single source of truth is for everybody in the organization. And that's what's so powerful about the DAO, right? Put the critical decision points into the DAO. You don't have to put everything in there, right? And there are decisions and discussions going on outside the DAO that are not necessarily on chain. But the DAO can be the container to say, hey, here's where we get into alignment agreement and move forward together, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's the top of the hour. We passed a few minutes, and I know people have other engagements. If there's nothing else right now, I'm just super grateful to have you guys here. Glad to see all these faces. I can't wait to interact with you on Discord and all the team. So go Hypha. See you guys soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Go
Thank you
Hypha.
for coming. Amazing. Bye-bye, everybody.